Hello everyone, it's another video review for you. It's Hot Rod from the Studio Series line. This is from the kind of 86 movie, so there's a bunch of figures that they've done from that. I think I've already reviewed Grimlock and Jazz, and I should have just released Scourge as well. So this is taking a look at Hot Rod. He's supposed to be a Voyager figure. And certainly he's at the Voyager price point, but he certainly isn't that size. He's kind of the size of a deluxe, which I'll kind of bring in and just show before we take a look at the accessories. So there he is alongside Jazz. He's a little bit taller than him, but he's certainly a little bit skinnier in my opinion. So that's Jazz. Bringing in Blur, who's a deluxe, and then bringing in Scourge, who is actually a Voyager. I mean, he's got his legs bent, but he is a little bit taller anyway, even just like that. And then I'll show you a bit better if I just straighten out his legs. So you see he's a good bit taller. And then if I bring in old Grimmy, Grimmy's the, what do you call it, a leader class, is it? Something like that. So, I mean, you can't even see. But Grimlock is a good deal taller than him. What's the other one? Oh, I've also got Rodimus Prime here. This is from the Power of the Primes line, is it? So he's absolutely massive compared to him. I still actually really like this toy. Looking back at it again, you know, it is quite an obvious mismatch with the two sets of colours. You know, the sort of quite bright red and the sort of burgundy there. But I really do like the head sculpt and the overall look of the figure. It's got a much more kind of mature look to it. I'll just adjust the camera a second just so you can take a look at him a bit better. So this guy, I've shown off the packaging on a little kind of shorts video that I did. It comes with this backdrop, which I'm just going to get out. Obviously his instruction manual as standard. But you get this backdrop to go with him as well, which kind of comes out like that. And you can place him in it, and he's kind of in the depths of Unicron. And you can do lots of different poses and things with him. I will show you some of the accessories. So just bring them up to the camera. First of all, you get two different guns here. They're both cast in red plastic and then painted silver. They are ever so slightly different. So this one here reminds me of the gun that the toy had. And this one, yeah, I'm not so sure about. I don't know what that's a nod to, or whether or not it's what he was seen holding in the movie, but they are very similar. You get a few blast effects. So you get these ones here, which are translucent blue, and they can be used as kind of flames. So you can pop them on here like that. So looks like he's got flames or he's shooting something, or if he's holding one of his guns, which he can do in his hands, just open that up. Let's pop that on there, and you can pop it on the end as a blast effect like that as well. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. And you can hold both of his guns, both the guns in either hand as well. There's places for them to store, so you could either store one on the back here, or on the back here as well, you've got these little slots, and go in like that. like that, and then just store on the back there, nicely tidied away. He does have a couple of other little features. So if you just open this up and open up his hand here, you can switch this out like so. Just gonna move this out of the way. You can adjust this and close it up like that. And then he's got this little saw like he does in the movie. And this is painted silver, and you see there's little marks as you go through it. And so it does actually move, and that just slots on his hand like that. So if he wants to chop up some Deceptor, well, Sharkticons, I guess he can use that. And then if he wants to do a little bit of kind of fixing, he can do that as well. I always forget which way these go. So yeah, pull down, this swaps around here, and he's got this kind of little fixie up thing. Can you add a blast? You can't really add a blast effect on there. But that can be if he's kind of fixing Cup. So his kind of legs and stuff come off on him. So you can have it that he's kind of... I'll move the saw out of the way, but he's kind of bent down here, doing a few repairs, maybe, something like that. Obviously, I'm not got him quite posed right because he's got a saw in his hand, but you know, you get the idea with that. You can see what he's trying to do. So you've got that, and then also as well, he's got another accessory. Oh, this thing as well here. This can also stored away on the back. And that will just plug in like that. So then you've got all of those on the back, and then if you want to swap his hands over again, like so, and like that. Doesn't really matter which way you want to swivel them. You get a matrix and this blast effect. So the matrix itself is it's painted nice. It's kind of looks like it's cast in this kind of blue translucent plastic, then painted kind of bronzy orangey for this bit, and then silver around here, and one side's kind of empty like that. And then you just got this other blast effect, which is supposed to be the matrix kind of not exactly exploding, but kind of giving off its kind of special powers. I guess you can put it around either way, but I don't know if it's easier to do it like that. Maybe it's easy to have the bits at the top or not. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's bigger one way rather than the other, but that might be me being silly, but you can put it on either way around like that. And then his hands open up. And the way that I do it is you can just get his thumbs in there like that and close them up. And then kind of roughly get him in a pose where you want to have him holding the matrix. Trying to get it fairly central can be a little bit tricky without him kind of dropping it or anything. Is that in? Yeah. So there you are. Got him opening the matrix there. And that looks really good, doesn't it, on display? If you've got them on there like that, either against the backdrop. If you want to then have all of the accessories added, you can actually add these on the back here as well. So you could do that as well if you wanted to. Just add little bit of blast effects on the back, or you could add them to the front, entirely up to you. So you've got that. So, you know, I've gone through the size of the figure. He is smaller than your standard Voyager. I think what they've tried to do is put him at a Voyager price point, but chuck in loads of extra accessories and things like that to kind of justify it, I guess. Or they wanted to do him obviously this size, but they want to include all the other stuff, so that then brought it up to a Voyager price point, which, yeah, I get. So there he is in his robot mode. Taking a look at him. There's another little gimmicky thing I forgot to mention. If you lift up his head, bring this down here, you get this kind of sun visor thing where who's he fighting? He's having like a duel, isn't he, with one of the robots on one of the Autobot ships, isn't he? And it's like time out. Got that. That just folds away in there. Really nice. So the head. So that is painted nicely. You got this kind of burgundy paint through here, silver, grey on the face and blue on the eyes. And the head sculpt is really good. It is kind of movie accurate, if you will. Its head kind of looks up a fair bit. It can look down loads. You get a little bit of confused hot rod look, and you can move it around most of the way around, but yeah, there's enough there. This piece here looks really nice, and it's quite sort of gone up a little bit, and that stays in there quite nicely. The arms kind of come up and down like that. You can rotate them around here as well. You're then kind of limited by this piece at the back here. The arms bend up to there and rotate as well. So that's nice. The arms rotate around and open up there. It's just on a single pin. These bits you can add on those blast effects, as I mentioned. So nice silver paint here, silver paint in here as well. And for these wheels that do rotate around, and some nice orange paint on here. All the details pretty nice. It's quite minimal, but you know, you get more detail kind of around the legs and on the top here. This one's kind of got these kind of hip skirt things kind of built in, so they're actually part of the leg. The waist does rotate all the way around, and that's done pretty nicely. Legs go up to the front there, not all the way back. What's that there that it kind of does? It looks as if it's sort of bent forward a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, if you do go back there, you're kind of pushing this piece out here, which it shouldn't come out, I don't think. But they do go all the way out to the side, and that holds up fine. If you've got any rotation on here, so you do get a rotation right at the upper thigh here. It's not like a straight one either, it's kind of like on a bit of an angle. The legs go all the way back, so you get plenty of motion range there. It's kind of like a double knee, so you can kind of go back like that, or you can kind of go back like that. The feet, you can go forward a little bit, back a fair bit, and out to the side like that. So yeah, I think a good range of movement on here. He's a pretty good looking figure, but he does feel quite diddy in hand, but still pretty well made. He's quite good fun to mess around with. And then I've sort of shown off all the guns and bits and pieces, so you get lots of play value. Let's take a look at the transformation. So what do we want to do? Okay, so first things first, straighten up his legs here. Now these bits open up and kind of fold out. This will click into here like that. this piece is going to come down into there, and then you're going to do the same on the other leg. So this bit kind of folds out like so. And that will click into there like so. That will fold out. So you can leave those like that for the time being. The waist does rotate around, so you'll need to make sure that you do that. This piece here is going to fold down like so. And then this is going to open up, he says, if I remember properly. Yeah, it does open up, and this whole section here then also kind of rotates around. So you lift this bit up, the head, the way that I did it anyway, I rotated the head around and then into that gap there. And then this piece here, if you can see, it just kind of rotates around here like that. Not quite sure if I've done that properly. These arms will rotate around like that. Like so. Yeah, and then this bit here opens up and just reveals these kind of pieces here that kind of slot in over those bits, which I thought was quite clever actually. And then what you do is bring all of this down, peg these bits into each other. There's a little slot there for that, but I'm not going to peg that in just yet. Now the way that I did it is pulled these bits out. I actually swapped the hands around. I found it easier, but I'm not sure if that's the official way to do it. And then that bit kind of comes over and covers there. Then this little notch will secure that arm into place. So, done. And then the same on this side. Actually, no, that one's stay like, no, let's rotate it around because that bit's still a little bit smaller. So that's what I found with the clearance. It just made it a little bit easier pegging everything together. So like that, peg that all in like that. So this section's nice and tight. And then these, yeah, is that right? Yeah. I don't know, you kind of go around like that and then rotate these around. So maybe you have to sort of move the arms out of the way first. So I've probably done it slightly the wrong way, but you get the idea. It's probably easy if you've got these arm pieces out of the way. So yeah, it's kind of tricky. I'm not sure if this is how they show you to do it on the instruction manual, but that is certainly the way that I've done it, and that seems to work okay. So that closes up. These bits fold out. That you want to connect the exhaust up, and if that's come unplugged, just plug that back into there. And then you kind of rotate this bit around here and push this bit down, and the legs, it will slot into the back of the legs and also in between there, so you might just have to adjust it slightly just to get that pegged in there. Just make sure these are pegged in either side as well. That should be him in vehicle mode. It's a pretty impressive looking car, in my opinion. And, you know, definitely looks like Hot Rod. It's quite sleek, and you can see really in this mode where, you know, why it's the robot mode is quite small. This is quite low down. I like the blue translucent windows. They're really nice. Nice paint on here. The flame and everything's done really well. Headlights look good. The wheels are painted silver. It looks like these back wheels are painted black instead of having silver paint in there, which is really odd. And silver paint on here as well. So you can add your blast effects. So you can add these on the back to make it look like he's going really fast. So you can do that. You can add on the guns. So you can add them on to the front. Like that. You can then add on this bit if you really want to. Just to see what it looks like. Doesn't fit on so well there. Let's try it. So you can do that, and then you can do the same type of thing. By then also adding them on the top here as well. There doesn't appear to be an additional storage space for the matrix, not that I can see. So you would think that would store somewhere in this mode, but I cannot see that it does. Obviously open up that piece in there, but it doesn't look as if it kind of fits in there, and I can't see anything in the instructions to indicate. So if I was going to store them in this mode, I'd probably have them stored on here and have the these kind of blast effects coming out from the back. So yeah, all in all, pretty good. Vehicle mode, fairly easy to transform. The only drawback is in this mode you've kind of got these kind of redundant sitting by the side, so it doesn't look as if there's anywhere to pop these at all. I don't know. I tried to put them on here and it doesn't kind of fit on because there's like a plug hole for those, but I don't know. Obviously you've got this bit in here. It doesn't look as if it kind of fits in properly. No, it doesn't. So that's that. All right, so that's him in his vehicle mode. Next up, we'll take a look at some other vehicles as a bit of a size comparison, and we'll do our final thoughts. Many vehicles readily available. So here he is alongside Titans Return Scourge. So you can see he's a little bit of a diddly one. And just for a bit of fun, there he is alongside Ecto 1 as well. So that's that. So here he is back in his robot mode. Yeah, and is he a figure worth getting? Yeah, I think so. It's tough, isn't it, where you kind of get these figures, main figures that are kind of re-released multiple times. I think I've got Titans Returns, Hot Rod, Legends one. You've got Power of the Primes, Rodimus. They've got a Kingdom, Rodimus Prime coming up. But, you know, this kind of series, the Studio Series line, is pretty good. I've been impressed with the quality on them so far. And, you know, there's a good bit of kind of playability with these figures. And, you know, there's plenty that you can kind of do and pose with them. It's made me really want to actually display all those Studio Series figures all together. That makes it tricky because you're not then using all the backdrops. Backdrops are great, but the trouble is it's just kind of like for one figure. So if you've got quite a few figures, you're not going to have just one display, maybe with just a Hot Rod on, and one display with Grimlock on. For me, anyway, I want to kind of display them all together. So I would love it if they had, like more of a group kind of dioramal thing that you could put together or have with them. That would really work with me. As it is, I'll probably put them all on display, sort of Grimlock and Jazz, and Blur and all those guys, put them on display and see what they look like together. But for me, it's a recommend. I think the only sort of downside is really he is a little bit on the small side. I know he's Hot Rod rather than Rodimus Prime. It still feels a little bit small. Obviously, you've got that thing where they've priced him out as a Voyager as opposed to a Deluxe. He's probably more around Deluxe size. So just bearing that in mind with the price, you're not paying out for a Deluxe. You are kind of that next tier up in terms of expenses. So you just need to bear that in mind. He is going to cost a little bit more, but well worth getting. Definitely into this Studio series line. Well worth getting, and obviously they're continuing on with more figures in the line. So be looking forward to getting Wreck-Gar and the crew, and some Junkions. I just said Junkions, and some Sharkticons as well. So that'll be even better to have this guy displayed alongside a couple of Junkions. I said it again, but it would be good to have him displayed along Junkions, but I meant Sharkticons as well. Anyway, I'm obviously a little bit tired, so let's leave it there. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.